The reason why you're not making money in snail farming is the mindset. Some persons come into snail farming with fish farming mindset or the poultry mindset. Now, how do I mean? You see, when you're coming into fish farming, you start with fingerlings and then you grow them and then sell off, right? But in snail farming, it is the other way around. Because in snail farming, what we do basically is we get adult snails that give us babies, that is hatchlings, and then we grow this hatchling back for sale. Now, if you come in with this poultry mindset or with this fish farming mindset where they get 100 fingerlings of their fish, grow them for 4 months, 5 months, and then they sell off and start all over again. If you are bringing that into snail farming, you're not going to be making money from the system because in snail farming, as the grown ones are giving you eggs, as you are hatching them into babies, they need timing for this baby to also grow into maturity before you can sell off, right? So if the mindset you're coming into snail farming is if you come in with 50 snails, you're going to make money from the system, you are not going to make money from it because this snails needs time to grow. This snails needs now every species has a growing speed to start off with. Now, if you feed poorly, the growth is reduced. If you feed well and you have the right the right species, the growth is faster. So in snail farming, the number is the key. Do not get deceived that if you start off with 50 snails from your backyard, you make 1 million in 1 year. It's not going to happen. Now, this is not a message of doom. This is reality. This is telling you the truth. So that when you're coming in, you come in ready. With 50 pieces of snails, you're not going to be making sales from your own snails because this snails needs months to grow into an appreciable sizes. So if you read just 50, and do not also forget that mortality cannot be overruled. So these 50 pieces that you're coming in with, some of them are going to die, which is normal. And some of the babies that you're coming in with. Now let's take a picture here. You start with 50, and this 50 gives you an average of five eggs. Now, these five eggs, not all of them are going to hatch into babies. These babies, not all of them are going to survive, and you need 8 months for these snails to grow into maturity again. So you cannot see the picture that if you are starting with just 50 of it, it's going to take you a whole long time before you can actually start making money from the system. Hence, it is advisable to stock well. Do not use the fish plan. Fish farmers will start and sell off. A snail farmer start and recycle. We keep recycling. If you stock now, the idea is for you to keep recycling. But if your mindset of coming in with 50 snail is to process, yes, you can do that. But if the mindset is for you to come in with 50 pieces of snail and your end point is to supply consumers, then you know you are going to spend a whole lot of time. Now, instead, I must say patience is key, but take this from me. With 50 pieces of snail, this is not patience. This is wasting of time. 50 snails. Now, we've seen some persons saying they can even start with 10 snails, 20 snails. No. Now, take a deep breath. Look at whoever or whomever that is introducing you into snail farming. How many snail is the person having? Because if you are buying 50 from this person, it means this person also have some leftover. So if you're coming in with 50 and you want to supply to final consumer, remember that your final consumers are not people that want to keep waiting. So if your snails are offside, let's say, okay, you are so patient, you've been patient for 8 months before you want to sell from your 50 now. If you sell off this 50, the babies that came from this 50, are you going to wait another 8 months to grow another set? Is that the kind of business you want to do? So in snail farming, the numbers is everything. When you have a better number in startup, you can duplicate this speed. And then if your business model, if your strategy, your mindset is to satisfy consumer, you must employ the spirit of leveraging. Leverage on the person that is bringing you into the system. If you start with 50 snails and somebody wants to buy for consumption, instead of waiting for your snails to get to adulthood, you sell by connecting from the person that brought you into the system. That is, you buy, you add your profit, and you sell. You buy, you add your profit, you sell, and your 50 snails are still growing. Or you sell from your 50 out, and then you replace adding your profit to increase the number. So you're not cycling around 50 pieces. If you want to make money from the system, do not get stuck with this mindset of you want to rear 50 snails and sell from your own product to final consumer. If you're buying, stocking, and selling off, you'll make money. But if you are buying and waiting patiently for your snails to lay, you incubate, you grow them back to adult, you're not just having patience, you're wasting your time. Because by the time you start making your first sales, those that are those that stock heavily are already making more money. Because if you start with 50, let's say you start with 50 and somebody else starts with 1,000 the same time, and you are both getting the same value, the same growth, the same mortality rate of everything. At the time with your 50 sales, your 50 snail result sales, and the person with 1,000 result sales, the result can never be equal. 1,000 must definitely be super higher than that of 50. That is where the money is. It is in the number, not just the timing. You can waste a whole year doing nothing that will bring in rubbish results. All right. So get the numbers right, and so that your result will appreciate your time in which you use in rain or staying patient in the process. I hope this meets your word. This is Rovi Justin Farm, and as always, with care. Feel free, share, and tag somebody that needs this information.